देश भारत हमारे लिए नेचर एनवायरमेंट भगवान है हमारे लिए। ये ऐसा परंपरा से ये देश सदियों से आते प्रैक्टिस करते हुए जा रहा है। आज की स्थिति में when we talk on this department, sir, we have to see past, present and future. For future, from today onwards to the future, I think our Prime Minister has put a clear goal for our nation. By 2047, we have to be a Viksit Bharat, developed nation. If we have to achieve those goals, थोड़ा हमको सोचना चाहिए कि पीछे हम कैसे थे, आज कैसा आया है. Under this department, I see when the Honorable Minister Bhupendra Yadav ji, I have seen him, when he talks, दिल से बोलता है कि ये सेम कंसर्न है, ये देश सिर्फ not for only people but also पशु पक्षादि. वो नेचर जो है, वो जैसा जो आदमी वो दिल में ऐसा है वैसा आदमी मंत्री है ये देश का. I can see that what he talks, is coming out of his heart. So today, clear goals are kept for this department under his leadership, as I understand. So past ka issues when I see, sir, if we have to achieve our Viksit Bharat goals, certainly Ministry of Environment, Forest, it should shift its mandate from isolated pollution control or conservation efforts or clearance granting to integrated environmental protection and sustainable economic enablement. This is very important if we have to be a Viksit Bharat. But sir, in the past, if you see, we were just 176th out of 180 countries in AIL Environmental Performance Index. We were 177th in air quality, 172nd in projected emissions, and 171 in ecosystem vitality. Only in climate change policy, we have performed a bit better, which came into effect, only after the Modi government came into functioning from 2014. But we are performing little better on that, but that is also due to massive focus on renewable energy. But sir, the present system needs minimum $160 billion per year in additional climate change mitigation investments to achieve our stated goals for sustainability. Current investment flows cover roughly 1/4 of $10 trillion that is needed by 2070, but actually we are, I think our country is preponing these goals to 2050, which means we have to bring in more money. The estimates shows that environmental degradation cost for India is around 5.7% of our annual GDP, exceeding 15 lakh crore at current economic size. This is not a future risk, sir, it is a present burden. Sir, with 18% of world's population but only 4% usable fresh water, the Niti Aayog projecting a water crisis affecting 60 crore people that could cost 6% GDP by 2050. So, which means we have to be very clear, water security is inseparable from environmental governance. We must really put in a best effort on this. Sir, the strategic opportunity around environment as an engine of Viksit Bharat, we have to consider this around that. The green economy can unlock $1.1 trillion annual market valuable by 2047. It generates 48 million full-time equivalent jobs and attract $4 trillion in cumulative investments. The research shows that this is the possibility of green economy. Green sectors can abate approximately 2.3 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide annually, roughly 77.6% of India's total carbon emissions as of 2024. Sir, India achieved 50% non-fossil fuel installed electricity capacity by mid-2025. I must compliment this government. This is 5 years ahead of its Paris Agreement NDC target of 2030. Sir, at Viksit Bharat's vision of a 30-40 trillion economy at 7 to 10% annual growth will be fundamentally undermined without a parallel environmental transformation. Achieving developed nation status requires decoupling economic growth from environmental degradation. These are not competing objectives, they are inseparable, sir. So, sir, I think we have a very clear opportunity around environment, which we have to take it very seriously as of today, making the foundation for future. Sir, to achieve this future focus, the ministry, I see, and my party see that we have some structural deficits. That is the reason we really have to relook why we have to restructure ourselves. This is an imperative, sir. We have no option. Sir, MOEF budget allocation for 26-27 is 4,413 crore rupees, less than 0.1% of the union budget. For a ministry tasked with India's air, water, biodiversity, forest, climate change and waste management, this is very small, sir, very minuscule actually. We need to really look at this. So we need to bring this structural change around the investment. Also the knowledge and the skills that this department has to possess. Certainly a detailed strategy, again 25 साल का future का देखते हुए हमको strategy बनाना पड़ेगा. For that, one of the implementing agency of ministry is CPCB. When I see Central Pollution Control Board, it has approximately 500 full-time employees for a nation of 1.4 billion people, sir. Comparable agencies in developed nations have minimum 10 to 30 times this capacity relative to the population. Sir, I think this is very important. CPCB need to be strengthened a lot. The ministry was last conceptually restructured in 2014 when climate change was added to its name. But no comprehensive strategic review of its mandate, structure or capabilities has been conducted, but this also need to be completely relooked. The ministry operates in thematic silos, forests versus wildlife versus pollution versus climate change. Rather than thorough functional convergence, it lacks dedicated verticals of circular economy, just transition, climate finance, critical minerals, or environmental technologies and sustainable solutions. So, because of all these things, the ministry needs a structural transformation and restructuring. Then I also want to say, sir, there are some bottlenecks. Federal bottleneck, that is, if I see strong laws and weak implementation. India possesses one of the most comprehensive environmental legislative frameworks in the developing world. EPA 1986, Air Act 1981, Water Act 1974, NGT, Biodiversity Act, Forest Conservation Act, and extensive EPR and waste management rules. Sir, we are very good on laws. Yet enforcement is characterized by a dual structure paradox. Policy is driven centrally, but enforcement is state-led.